go. Took forever. All right, we are live.
We're live? Alrighty. Well, welcome in everybody to the Cheap Seats podcast where we give you our perspective from the worst seats in the house. With me now, of course, Chandler, and we got Icy. How are
Hola.
we feeling today, boys? What's going on?
I'm sore.
You been working out?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Today's been a pretty good day. I can't lie. For no in particular reason, but it's just been a pretty good day. How you
All
been, man?
right. Uh, well, not good, not bad. Pretty neutral. The Caleb Downs news mitigates the Celtics winning. There we go. The only player I was afraid of losing is gone.
Dude, I made a tweet a couple days ago, but just imagining a Malachi Starks and Caleb Downs safety duo is ridiculous. I want to throw up. Not
And
actually.
bro really downgraded from one Malachi to the next if that's the case. All right. Wait. So am I still what's it called?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Leading the.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
What y'all want to start off with?
Oh,
We got a whole
I want to talk
multitude.
about this weekend in the playoffs.
Yeah.
okay.
Go ahead. My bad.
Oh no, you got it.
So, it was a crazy wild card weekend. A lot of head scratching performances and a lot of surprising performances. Um, of course, everyone that's been talking about the Cowboys and how they shit the bed. Then you had rookie sensation CJ Stroud putting the city of Houston on his back. Then you got the Eagles also shitting the bed. What else? Um, Kansas City handling business. If I get another team,
The Bills.
Yeah, the Bills. Bills look, they was handling business. It was just a little, little shaky, like what's going on, but they handle business too. I guess let's talk about the losers more. Let's start off with the first wild card game. That was the Browns. Um, obviously, Stefanski, Kevin Stefanski. He he did everything he best he could to carry this team. He had going through quarterbacks hell again with Deshaun, DTR, and then he ended the year with Flacco. And Flacco did the best he could, but put up a bad performance. Where do we see the Browns next year?
I'll be honest. I I would love for Deshaun because obviously I'm a fan of the Browns, right? But I don't know, man. Their defense is awesome when they play well. I mean, it's hard to do anything when your quarterback throws 2 interceptions like that, especially 2 pick sixes. Looking at somebody else on another team, um, but I don't know because if Deshaun Watson doesn't come back and play to how he played in Houston, I don't know because they gave him a lot of money, like a boatload of money. And if he doesn't come, if he's not, I mean, okay, the best ability is availability, and if he's not there, then what's the point? You gonna run it back with Joe Flacco after he gets off his couch again in week 5, week 10? Good luck, but I'd hope it worked.
Hey, they're gonna be the odd man out next year because you got the Ravens who aren't gonna fall off anytime soon. The Bengals are gonna get healthy with Joe Burrow, even though Jake Browning low key was putting up top 10 quarterback numbers. Maybe Some might say that Joe Burrow might low key be Swaggy Mac, but we don't know. But no, they should still be good. And then Mike Tomlin refuses to ever be below 500. And if they have any quarterback with a pulse, they should be able to win 10 games because Mike Tomlin has devil magic. It's apparent now more than ever.
Mm.
He just refuses to die. So then that leaves the Browns, who are going to be more and more crippled by Deshaun Watson's contract. Whether he plays or not, he's kind of stunk up the joint anyways. So yeah, kind of they're kind of where they always are. They're in QB hell,
Yep.
and they usually have a pretty talented roster. So yeah, they're kind of fucked.
Well, I mean, if you think about it too, Nick Chubb's contract is not exactly cheap either. He's for at least for a running back. His is, I think, 3 years, $36 million. So for a position that's dying, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I view it. They number one is definitely Deshaun Watson. It's like, all right, bro. We got to get you playing like how you was in your Houston days, bro, because it's looking very nasty. I always like to label, like the Bears. You can say low key. You can kind of say Washington now, and even the Browns as like franchises who just can't get the quarterback right. Even when they look like they have a promising franchise quarterback, like everything just goes down the drain. And so maybe that's just the norm over there, but like you really got to get right with Deshaun to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because you look, they have talent everywhere. I mean, it's one of the. I think I can truly say their roster is like how I put it. Y'all know how like the AFC is quarterback driven, and then an NFC is more about your roster. I
Yeah.
think they're like that and that AFC team that is kind of built for the NFC in my eyes. They don't really have good quarterback play outside of like Flacco was tearing it up at the end towards the end of the season. But if you look at the roster, they have good DB play. They have a nice linebacker core. Um, their D line, they have a good D line. I say that. And then wide receivers, they have good wide receivers, excellent O line play. They just gotta kind of just put it all together and just give out good performances. But I don't really know like they're like yeah, you gotta pay Chubb. And maybe that game is a little different if Chubb is there because you can rely on him more. But we're gonna see next year.
One team, hold on, real quick. One team I want to talk about because you just mentioned them, and we're talking about quarterback play in the NFC. Do y'all think Washington, if they don't get Caleb, would they stick with Sam Howell? Because okay, I say that to just preface. I don't think he's terrible. Not saying he's like some kind of great quarterback, but I don't think he's that bad. And if they have a chance to draft Marvin Harrison Jr., do you pass up on that if the Bears take Caleb? Or if another team jumps ahead of him to take Caleb, do you pass on one of the greatest prospects in college football history for wide receiver?
See, so it's hard to say because like Washington is actively looking to trade up to that number one pick to take Caleb. But if they were smart, they would stick with Sam Howell because Sam Howell has all the tools to be a very good quarterback. And he's shown this was basically his rookie year. He's shown flashes that he can be a really good quarterback. Shoot, he led by Thanksgiving, he led the league in yards, and I believe he was like top 5 in touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, and their offensive line was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like their offensive line is abysmal. So I don't know. Sam Howell was a 4th-round pick. Why not? I mean, I know the allure of Caleb Williams, but like, to get the man an offensive line. I mean, they got weapons, but I mean, if you have the opportunity to get a wide receiver who a lot of NFL players have said is like better than 95% of the league already, then like you should probably do that, because hitting on a wide receiver in the first round is way more successful than hitting on a
Ironic, too big.
quarterback in the first round.
Too big's here.
Uh,
That's who I was talking to.
Speaking of offensive linemen, hey, Too Big could probably block Sam Howell's blind side.
Too big. You want to go to Washington? They need a tackle. What do you think, Icy?
I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but I say this: I don't think Caleb is generational, but I think he's a better prospect overall, and he's gonna come in and like he's a true franchise quarterback. Like, don't get me wrong, Hal's good, but he ain't. I put it. Hal is like a Chevy. It's a regular old Chevy. Caleb is like a Ferrari almost. Basically. You know, that Chevy still gets you to work. It might fuck up a little bit, break down. You might need to change your wheel. But a Ferrari, you can stun in that bitch. You feel good in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I agree with it, actually. Also, the Bucks are down 50 right now. Anyways, the Commanders, they have their first round pick, and then they have 2 second-round picks, one being from Chicago, 2 third-round picks, one being from San Francisco. So they could get a pretty decent offensive lineman in one of those picks, along with if they took Marvin instead of Caleb. But if they have if they have a chance to take Caleb. I understand.
But yeah, I just think the reality is that Washington's owner wants to sell tickets, and Caleb Williams coming home sells tickets.
That does make sense.
That's true. Outside of that, the next team that had played the wild card game, I believe it was, I want to say, Miami and Kansas City.
Yeah.
Peacock game.
Peacock game. I can't believe my illegal streams didn't work.
We don't use those. We don't use those. We don't use those.
No, we don't use those.
We don't use those.
Yeah. Damn. I wish it didn't work that day, so that way I could have just went to a bar and saw a bunch of old people ask the bartender, "Oh, what channel is Peacock on?"
Do you guys get Peacock here? You guys get Peacock here? Hey, Shani, what channel is Peacock? Sorry.
Let's talk about both these teams. Obviously, let's talk about the Chiefs first, because they're moving on. But we look at the Chiefs. I feel like, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like they accepted who they are at the end of the day. They know they don't have great wide receiver play, and they know that their strength is on the defensive end. So what do? They got Isaiah Pacheco. They're gonna run the ball. They still excuse me. They still believe in Mahomes and like Mahomes magic. You're just gonna see less of it. Plus, if you look at, I'll say this: they control the clock more than anything. Like, they used to score like that, but now it's like, all right, we're gonna relax and we're gonna take up just enough time to score, and we're gonna play the clock, which is smart. How y'all feel about the Chiefs?
You can go first, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what the great teams do. The great teams realize by January, like, this is what we are. This is what we have to do to win. It's not going to be pretty football, but it's going to get the job done. And honestly, I don't think anybody should have been surprised about the outcome of the game. I I do want to save a little bit. Now, I'm not going to say anything about Tua until we talk about the Dolphins, but I got a lot to say. Uh, but honestly, it's good. I think it's a good sign that the goat coach Andy Reid decided, we're gonna run this team through our top three defense, and just basically just kill clock. If we kick some field goals, it doesn't matter. The Dolphins aren't moving the ball down the field. They're a pretty soft team. Uh, and yeah, the only concern I have for the Chiefs is just making sure that they convert a little more often in the red zone. But other than that, I mean, they played a pretty good game, and also Travis Kelce stopped dropping the ball.
True. I agree, especially in the sense of when you say a team finds their identity and actually sticks to it. Because sometimes teams will, they'll be really good a certain way, but they'll try to play another way to try to, you know, they think they have to do more than what they actually need to do. And when I say that, I'm really talking about Georgia. But um, I think if they actually stick to this identity, running the ball with Pacheco, because I clearly it's working right now, and I think it could really work, especially with all the injuries that the Bills have had. I could see that playing a huge factor into this next game coming up. It will be interesting to see Mahomes on the road finally in a playoff game. But I'll be honest, it's Patrick Mahomes. I think he'll be all right. It'll just be the other people who I'm a little more worried about. But I don't know. I think they'll be all right. I still think the Bills win. Personally, I just see Josh Allen at home. I don't see them losing. I see them. I know their defense is top. You said top three. I agree, but I'm hoping for a big James Cook game. So we'll see.
And when we look on the other side to the Dolphins, I know me and Mac, we was talking about this the past 2 days, but they got some questions that need to be answered. And the biggest one is what they're gonna do about Tua. I know with me, when I see Tua play, I do think like he can't throw the ball as far as a lot of quarterbacks. But I look at him in that offense, bro. I feel like he plays uncomfortable.
Well,
Even in like the early part of the year, I felt like he's kind of like holding back a little bit. And I know it's a timely offense, and I feel like you can't play like that when it comes to January.
it's also like how
You
he.
know,
I hate him being lefty because like him throwing the ball looks so awkward. So in a
yeah.
sense, I
So
really do agree with what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah, no, the Dolphins have one huge question mark, and that's obviously Tua Tagovailoa. Tua is not without that offense, without Mike McDaniel and Tyreek Hill, he is not a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. There is not a single thing you can point to where, wow, Tua really excels at this. Like, he's not, he is neither super athletic, nor does he have an arm that stands out at all. In fact, his arm is very weak. I mean, and for anybody that saw even the highlights, I mean, the guy's throwing lollipops, and he even got bailed out on that touchdown by Tyreek Hill, who's the best wide receiver in the NFL. The the Dolphins only have one real problem, and it's their quarterback, who is extremely limited. And Mike McDaniel is going through something similar that his predecessor Kyle Shanahan went through with Jimmy Garoppolo. It's that you can only you can only go as far as your quarterback allows you to go. Like, yeah, sure. Can you build a team that can get to the Super Bowl? Maybe. Kind of like how San Fran did with Jimmy Garoppolo. But in those moments, he will not deliver for you. Like Jimmy Garoppolo did not deliver for San Francisco on that deep ball to Emmanuel Sanders where he was wide open. He just physically couldn't make that throw. And it's the same for a lot of throws that Tua was forced to make that game. He just physically cannot make those throws in the cold or even on a nice sunny 70-degree day in Miami. Like you have to move off of him if you're serious about this window because this offense is a Ferrari and it's being put in the hands of somebody with a learner's permit. Like I could probably name about 10 to 15 quarterbacks that realistically the Dolphins could win a Super Bowl with because their offense and their scheme is simply that good.
And the
But yeah,
15 a little bit crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
It may not be, depending on who
10
the
to
15
10 to
is.
15 different quarterbacks.
I mean,
yeah. Well, Tua is kind of like a bottom 5 quarterback. Like I'm not gonna lie.
eight
Like
of them, eight of them are like a
Yeah.
lock. I ain't gonna lie.
he's lefty Hawaiian Mac Jones.
I just, well, I see him play, bro. I agree with you on a couple of your points. It's just, when I look at Mike and that offense, bro, he was talking about it. And it was like, yo, it's basically the same offense, that 49ers be running. And it's like, that offense need guys. Like, yeah, it's the fastest offense for Ferrari, whatever we want to say. But I feel like you just need guys in that offense, bro.
Yeah,
When
they
you
got
see a
dudes though.
do they though? I mean,
They
outside
got
Waddle,
guys.
I think Waddle. Yeah, you got Waddle. You got
Waddle,
two
Tyreek,
A Train, Tyreek, A Train, and
Mostert's a
Mostert.
guy.
And Mostert's a guy. He had
He,
his best career this year, best
he
best season this year.
their
But
tight end is Durham Smythe is a solid tight end when you have like the best wide receiver duo in football, and then Cedric Wilson's fine as a wide receiver 3. Like he might not be a guy, but like he's fine in the role that he plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy just because I know. So for everybody that doesn't know, the teams that run the Kyle Shanahan scheme are the 49ers, the Texans, the Packers, and of course the Dolphins. And out of those teams, three are in the divisional, and there's no coincidence that the team with the worst quarterback of those 4 did not advance.
Mm-hmm.
what I be seeing, bro, it just be like Tua. That I agree with you. That off, like, yeah. Those three teams are in the divisional. But when I look at those 3 quarterbacks play, it's not as timely as that offense that's being run in Miami. It's just, I remember when I think they was playing in Germany. They was playing the Chiefs. And when you see a quarterback like pat the ball, like when he's being ready to throw. When I look at Tua, he pump, like he does a little like hesitational pump fake when he throws the ball. And I'm like, bro, like that's a timely thing. You waiting for someone to be there on the spot, other than it's like, yo, look at your other options, bro. Like, he's not fully. I mean, this goes with like him just being as a quarterback as well. But I feel like this goes more like, all right, like what you got to do with the offense. This is all timely throws. When you look at other offenses, like those 3 teams that run, like when I look at CJ play the game against the Browns, bro, he was reading the defense and like he was still getting guys open. He was throwing them open. Other than when I look at Tua, he's waiting for them to get open to that spot so he can throw it right there. You feel me?
Well,
And I
part
feel
of
like
that,
that's on Tua, but I feel like that's also on the offense too because it's a fast offense.
they play fast. The thing is that Also, Jordan Love and CJ, like you said, they have the ability to throw wide receivers open. Tua does not have the arm strength to throw a wide receiver open.
That's true.
Like, also him hesitating is him not really having a belief in his velocity, which, I mean, sometimes when a quarterback kind of, you know, thinks about a throw, it could be good because it doesn't lead to interceptions. But honestly, I'd much rather have the gunslinger. I'd rather have the Josh Allens who, like, sure, is he going to have some turnovers? Absolutely. But on the other end, he's going to throw a couple of 70-yard bombs for touchdowns. Like, I'd rather have the dude that thinks that he can make the throw all the time versus the guy who's going to hesitate on the throw and then either underthrow it or whatever he's going to do. Or not score points against good teams.
I'll also say, I think a lot of us got bamboozled by Tua from the fact that he has played with the greatest wide receivers that have ever graced both of his leagues since he's been in both of his leagues. And by both of his leagues, I mean college football and the NFL. So in the NFL, he has Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, probably the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. In college, he had Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs.
And
Yeah.
What? That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
and his fifth wide receiver was John Mechie.
Yeah, random John Mechie. He's all right too.
Didn't even get to play.
No.
And no, that's why I'm always the hardest on Alabama quarterbacks because I watch them every Saturday. And they're outside of Bryce Young, none of them have ever impressed me. Like they put up these good numbers because they're surrounded by 5-star wide receivers. And then you saw in half of Tua's rookie year and his second year that he's pretty bad when all he has is Jalen Waddle. Or he was terrible his rookie year because he had Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki.
Yep. And especially if you think about it, at that time at Alabama, y'all had the most ridiculous offensive line I think I've ever seen. Like,
even though Alex Leatherwood didn't translate to the NFL, he was a damn good tackle.
he was a dog in college.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I think at the end though, Tua got to be real with himself when it comes to the contract talks. I don't think he got to be like asking to be reset the market or anything. I think you just got to go ahead, take a team friendly deal, and just be happy with that.
Nah, screw that. The way that he helps them sell merch, shoot, ask for a big contract because most NFL owners are like casuals and they try to appeal to the larger demographic. And if the demographic is buying Tua Tagovailoa jerseys, then like, yeah, get your bag, King. Get your bag.
I think they gotta go ahead. I know what Tyreek. I think he probably got 2 or 3 more years left in him, something like that.
He's how old is he? Because he said he was gonna retire at 31.
I think he is about to be 31.
Let's see. I think this year might be. Oh no,
He'll be 30 this
he's
year.
got 2 more years.
He'll be 30 this year.
So he'll either retire after this season or next season.
Yeah. I think he just got to take a good look in the mirror, and he either go ahead, try to get better this all season, see how that work out, or like just take this team friendly deal, man.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do, bro. And talking about team friendly deals, let's go into the next game we finna talk about. The game on, I think it was Sunday. It was Sunday. One of my old head coach, he'd like to say, when we lost games on our senior year, he would either say, oh, it was a circus, it was a shit show, or it was a shit show circus. and that Dallas game was definitely a shit show circus. Um,
Yeah.
that was a surprising game. I mean, Cowboys just shitted themselves, bro.
Every single one of
Just
them.
They were
shitted the
Every
bed.
one of them.
that might have been the biggest coaching mismatch of the playoffs so far, and it showed.
It showed in the first quarter, bro.
Matt LaFleur was coaching circles around Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, I think Mike McCarthy. They probably had to like get him away from the team buffet at halftime because he was stress eating so much.
Dude,
Like,
he couldn't call plays. He had grease all over his playbook. He was trying to flip through his pages. He couldn't do it.
I mean, somebody find Dan Quinn a map because dudes were wide open, butt booty naked wide open.
I think they probably. I think for like the defensive side though, I thought they probably thought about it too much because they saw Jordan Love. He didn't struggle, but he wasn't nearly as good against Dallas when he played against like the Panthers, Chicago, who they ran a lot of zone. Like Greg Olson was saying, it was like there was a lot of personnel questions, like two tight end sets or one tight end set, and the Cowboys just couldn't figure it out. But it was real evident that it was a coaching mismatch in the first quarter, where I had saw first people was complaining about Jair on that pick on the pick, and I was like, that's 5 yards, and that's just like he just know the play is coming. Then I think it was 14-0, I want to say, when Dak threw the pick six, or was that like 20-0,
Oh no, it
something
was
like
20-0.
that. It was 20-0, and he threw the pick six. I was like, Darnell Savage knew the ball was coming right there, bro. Like, what's going on? And then it wasn't good either that like the wide receivers wasn't getting open for Dallas too. But and like him and CD was just like they was just in la la land the whole game.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And
They
that's
had
just the
no connection.
offense.
Yep.
There's just no connection whatsoever. And then when we talking about the defense, they have like that was one thing I worried about Dallas going into the game. Like, how was they going to stop the run, bro? Because bro, they just got ran on the whole game.
I will say, as much as we want to say that it was just a Dallas collapse, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Jordan Love because I saw a stat on ESPN where since week 11, his touchdown to interception ratio is 22-1. So shout out to him. From since that, because they played the Falcons in like week 2, and we beat them, and I thought that I'll be honest, I thought he was cooked. I think I made a tweet. It was more of a joke tweet, but I said Des Ritter is better than Jordan Love, and boy was I wrong. But I will say, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Dak sucks. I'm glad I was right, and all my Cowboys friends who were saying that you can't put the fault on Dak. You can't put the fault on Dak. The defense collapsed. Well, he gave up 14 points himself because he threw a pick at the 12, their own 12, and he threw a pick six. I don't know what you want your defense to do when they start a drive at their own 12, but I'm putting some of the blame on Dak. Just me personally. Especially him and CD were off horribly. And those two picks, I mean, if any other quarterback did that, we would be having a different conversation. Unless it was Patrick Mahomes.
I think you had to like Dak has to have at least at least like half of the blame.
Yeah.
At least he has to. Just because just like you said, like he put his defense in that tough situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think just as a franchise, there's like there's blame all to go around, bro. To the receiving core, to Jerry Jones, to Mike McCarthy, to the defense, Micah, like and Quinn. Like it was
I'm
just
trying to
an
let him know,
utter
Kevin. I'm trying to let him know.
collapse. What do you think, Matt?
There's just it's hard to really say that Dak was the biggest problem because even like their first two drives had nothing to do with the offense. I mean, the Packers just either threw the ball or they just ran the ball down their throat. Like just sustained long 8-9 play drives, 80 yards, touchdown. I mean, I, there and on. I'm not even gonna apologize for saying it. Uh, hey, listen, Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn haven't won a game against somebody from the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree, and I'll keep bringing it up because this coaching tree is insane, and they keep finding ways to win. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that Dallas could potentially go into that game and out talent the Packers. Out talent the Packers. Uh, but sometimes just when you got the right scheme against the right personnel, great things happen. Like, it's Stephon Gilmore. I almost shed a tear when he got absolutely cooked on that touchdown. It's time to focus on the family, my man. You know that. Thank you for your service, but
Get a job. Get a
you
job.
got it. Former defensive player of the year, just gotta let it go, man.
He went from Stephon Gilmore to Desmond Trufant like that. It was crazy.
Like
Crazy. And
it's
Mac
tough.
actually, they actually did beat somebody from that coaching tree technically.
Who do they beat?
Well, it wasn't. Well, he is not head coach, but the Panthers are OC Thomas. He's from that coaching tree.
All right.
You can give him that.
Sure, I guess. but damn, the Packers had a hell of a game plan. Jordan Love kept being hot. Their defense was really surprising. Although I don't really think Dallas runs anything super complex. Their offense seems pretty simple. So I mean, it's just, and also, can we talk about how tone deaf it is that Jerry Jones is like, yeah, I watched that with my own two eyes, and you know what? Mike McCarthy, not the problem at all.
That's hilarious.
Apparently,
by the way. That is absolutely
like,
hilarious.
This guy's been out coached 2 times by the same person, and 1 time by his protege, and 2 of those happened in Jerry World. So, like, I don't know what the Cowboys are doing. It's just Jerry's world, and we're just living in it. So I guess it's looking like another disappointing 11-12 win season, going out in the first or second round for the Cowboys.
I was trying to look
Yeah.
for Tony's tweet about CD because we were talking about it this morning, and he was like dead on about what was going to happen with the Cowboys and CD. He said that the Cowboys were way too reliant on CD in that offense, and it became very apparent during that game.
It makes you wonder, why did they? And it never made sense to me at the time when they did it, considering both of them are gone. I don't know why they ever picked Zeke over Amari Cooper. It never made any sense. Because even if Amari took a step back and was wide receiver 2 to CeeDee Lamb, you have 2 really good wide receivers instead of just CD and occasionally old Brandon Cooks. Because even when he got traded, Michael Gallup had injury issues, and Michael Gallup was never a guy that could create separation. So I don't understand. Like, that's another thing on Jerry, is Jerry making all these dumb roster decisions, like valuing an overpaid running back over at least a wide receiver 2.
You know, I hate that Arthur Blank is just Jerry Jones with a smaller bank account. Kind of sucks. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
They couldn't find a good head coach if it fell right in front of them. And then even whenever Jerry Jones had a good head coach, he wanted to get him out of the team. So, I mean.
And then really like an hour ago, like um it is confirmed that Mike McCarthy is staying. He's going to be the coach for next year for the Dallas Cowboys. And people already saying it's like, all right, we already know our expectation is going to be low. Probably going to be they're probably going to be I say a double digit plus team win. I'm going to win it column because they are going to have that first uh what is it, that first team schedule. They're going to be
Mm.
playing a lot of top dogs next year. But I'm confident they're going to get at least 10 or 11 wins. Winning the division, I don't know. We're going to see how the Eagles are going to be.
Oh, let's
But
yeah. We've everyone's just beaten Dallas, beaten a dead horse. Let's talk about the other most toxic fan base in the NFL. Talk this Super Wild Card weekend couldn't have happened to two better franchises. Let me tell you what.
That
Let's
is true.
I'm
that's
telling
true.
you what. The Eagles are so lucky that the Cowboys cowboyed because well, listen, I mean, I think we're gonna bring equal amount of smoke to at least I will.
Mm.
I
I got a
will
lot
too.
I got a lot of things to say about the Eagles.
I don't. Here's the thing, bro. I think the Dallas is more toxic when it comes to talking about ball, but then the Eagles fans are just toxic in general. But I hate how some people get on the TV and they can talk about Dallas and like bad, but they always the whole season they were just talking about like like the Eagles don't have no problems. They win football games. And it's like you see they have problems. Like winning, yeah. Winning does cure everything. But when you win games, you have to get better on the small stuff in order to achieve the goal at the end of the year. There was stuff during let me say like September that was pretty obvious that they just needed good coaching. And it was obvious that old boy from I think it was the OC went to the Colts, right?
Adam Johnson.
Yeah. It was a big key to their success last year to get into the Super Bowl. Without
Oh,
him this year, bro.
oh, last year was Shane Steichen. This year it's Adam Johnson.
Oh yeah. Sniping. I was like, he was a big piece last year. Now they miss him wholeheartedly, and it's like your head coach. What does he do? Like, what does he do whatsoever? Is he a guy like up in Detroit, their head coach? I can't think of his name. Kneecaps. I call him kneecaps.
Yeah, Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. Like respect. I mean, shout out Dan Campbell. We're gonna talk about them to that game, but like he's a real motivator, and like he trusts his guys, and he got good coaching around him. But when I look at Sirianni, it's like, what do you do, bro? You have what an offensive background, and before the game, it was moments before kickoff started. They didn't know if he was going to be calling plays or their OC was going to be calling plays or not. Like that's coaching. That's bad coaching.
Yeah.
And
And
Oh,
he's probably. I don't think they're gonna fire him. We're gonna talk
no.
about that too. But I don't think they're gonna fire him.
mm.
But then another thing too that I got mad with. It's the last week of the season. You know that the Cowboys are probably going to beat Washington. Why would you play your starters? Because they got your wide receiver one hurt, and it got your quarterback hurt too. And I believe he didn't even throw a football till Thursday. Like, that's just dumb. That's dumb. That's boneheaded decisions, bro.
Yeah. Um, in the chat, Kevin said Eagles 13-4, Cowboys 10-7, Commanders 9-8 with Caleb Williams, and then the Giants 6-11. Uh, I'll be
That's
honest.
crazy.
You think it's crazy?
The Eagles with 13 wins?
Eagles with
What
13.
It depends. It depends on what their
don't know.
schedule is because I'm
what
looking.
are we
Well,
saying?
okay, I'm looking at this Dallas schedule, and obviously they play all their division rivals, but they play the NFC South, and then they play the AFC North, and then they play San Francisco, Detroit, and Houston. Also, real quick about you said something earlier about the Shanahan coaching tree. And who were those 4 teams that you named? It was San Francisco, the Packers.
Packers.
Who else?
The Texans.
The Texans and
Bobby Slowick. And so Niners, Packers, Texans, and then it's what was the other team that advanced? Oh man, I feel pretty dumb. I just said
Dolphins,
too.
Dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah, Dolphins.
But I think it should have been apparent that the Cowboys were going to struggle with an offense like that whenever during the season they got absolutely hammered by the 49ers.
And they lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I feel like that should have been more of a red flag than it was, because I feel like people took that, and at the time we were just like, oh, San Francisco's just really good. No, they may struggle with an offense that can actually throw the ball down the field versus them beating one team over 500, or 2, I think, because they beat the Eagles.
I did San Fran. Well, they played San Fran, and then they went and played Miami back-to-back weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Oh wait, no, that was like 2 months apart from each other.
Oh, okay. I'm tripping.
Yeah, that Niners Cowboys game I think was like week 5.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, man, what exactly does Sirianni do besides being the biggest cornball in the league? Like, he just show up to press conferences wearing like, it's a rivalry shirt, or like their downfall started against the Niners, where where they got absolutely exposed, and it killed the team morale when, instead of watching film, Sirianni was putting up podcast clips of Deebo Samuel talking smack in the offseason, and then Deebo Samuel proceeded to score 3 touchdowns in Philly. So, I mean, hey, listen. Hey, I mean, getting your trap taken over by somebody that's like talking shit all throughout the offseason, I mean, that's just a tough look, man. I don't know how any team would have survived after that.
Hey man, DeJounte Murray buzzer beater on the
Walked
Magic.
it off.
We take it. We take those. I mean, he'll be in Brooklyn in about a week, but hey, we take those.
we take those. But yeah, but honest, and then I mean, I think it's time we got to have some conversations about Jalen Hurts. I think
before we talk about Jalen Hurts, let's talk about the Eagles' defense.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. What?
They had an elite defense.
Hey, that's what happens when you take D linemen in the first round when you don't need to, and they hardly ever play. Like,
I know he's your boy, Chan, but they had him in Hall of Fame discussions in like week 3, and he didn't show up at all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Jalen Carter crying during the Niners game on the sidelines was just not a good look. Like, he was in tears on the. Somebody had to like grab his arm like he was a child and like walk him away.
Yeah.
Also, Jordan Davis is the biggest man on that roster, and you can't find him on a milk carton. Like,
that is right.
They barely played him.
They barely played him. Like, what is the point of drafting these guys in the first round when you're just going to put out Fletcher Cox and all the other 32-year-olds on the team?
That's a great question, because I'll be honest, I understand that Keely Ringo is burnt chicken, but one thing he can somewhat do is tackle. James Bradbury was tackling like me if I was out there, which would be the equivalent of not tackling anybody, not hitting anybody.
I'm not going to lie, those last 2 touchdowns felt like fever dreams, because the one where the Bucs rookie wide receiver like broke a tackle and ran 56 yards for a touchdown. I was like, what? That really happened? Like, and then Baker just threw up a fadeaway and Chris Godwin just plucked it out of the air.
I mean,
on Avonte Maddox.
those DBs were getting cooked more than I've ever seen out of anybody. That was like Falcons level bad, like 2020 Falcons level bad. 2022 Falcons versus Bengals, we had like 5 DBs out. It was insane.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like outside of last year, I thought it was a Jim Schwartz thing in Philly, but no. But it seems like every year except for last year, where everything went right for them, it seems like they just make corners worse. Like I don't know what it is. Like their corners are for the most part like barbecue chicken, like
Mm-hmm.
Well,
easy. And then their big trade, at least by the trade deadline acquisition, who
he
everyone
didn't do shit.
rightfully said that Kevin Byard is washed, and Eagles fans would not listen because he's a big name. Like, I mean, a lot of that defense was just big names past their prime. Like, what like the linebacker that used to be good in Tennessee, like Zach Cunningham was. I mean, he had a couple of tip balls, but he was missing tackles. Big play Slay was giving up big plays.
Big
The
play, Slay. He
maniac.
couldn't stop a big play.
Oh, Shaquille Leonard. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Shaq Leonard was on that defense.
Remember they signed him?
Yeah.
Didn't they? Yeah. I don't know if he
They
played.
signed him.
He
Was
he probably
he-
played more than Jordan Davis. So
He probably did. Then, oh my goodness. Then, who had a bunch of sacks for them last year? And he came from. It was it Riddick?
Yeah, it was
Hassan
Riddick.
Reddick.
I don't know why.
Hassan Reddick. Yeah, that guy did absolutely nothing. One hit wonder because their D line last year was really good, and he just benefited from it. There was just nothing redeemable about that defense at all, and outside of their offensive line, and I'm so glad that the reason why the Eagles have their only Super Bowl was calling plays for them on defense. Matt Patricia ruins everything he touches.
True. Kevin said at Georgia, Jordan Davis only played 2 downs max. No way it changes because of the pros. I do agree with that. We limited a lot of people's snaps on our D line, but I guess my counter to that would be like at Georgia, we mainly recruit defense. If you look top to bottom, especially 2021, we were so deep that we didn't need Jordan Davis to use we didn't need him every play. But if you look at like Texas was Sweat, I don't know if they had exactly the same depth. That's why he was in a little bit more. But I do he could only play, that amount. What was that?
Exactly. It's different in college because you can rotate out a 5-star with another 5-star.
Yeah.
Like
That's
it's
legitimately
kind of
what we're
like
doing.
it's kind of like what Bama did in 2018 when we were just rotating between Tua and Jalen Hurts. It's because you can, because you're so much more talented than the other team. But that just doesn't work in the NFL. You have to consistently play your best guys against their best guys.
I will give
just-
Jordan credit though. In that championship game against TCU, I think that was the most snaps I ever saw him play. Obviously, it's a championship game, but he legitimately didn't come off the field. I don't think until
Wait, Jordan
after
Davis?
half. I think so. Until after half.
No, because Jordan Davis was drafted after the first.
Oh no,
after
I mean
Jordan's
against Bama.
first-
I mean against Bama. Bama.
Oh yeah,
Never mind. I'm tripping. I'm tired.
it's like, damn, bro was impressive. He just came back for the championship.
yeah.
He said they're not giving me enough snaps. Might as well.
I think it was on the field actually. I think he was there, so he might have
Fair
stepped back
enough.
on.
I don't think you can sneak back on the field with his
That
with
is
his
true.
stature.
That is true. He couldn't sneak anywhere in his life.
Except for that playoff game, I had no idea. He was like on the sidelines when Slay got hurt, and that was the only time I ever saw him in like that entire game.
Yeah, I look at that defense and like there was just lies that were just told about me.
Yeah, even their offense, which was a juggernaut, is in shambles because they're two bet. Well, obviously, shout out to this past year's most sexiest man alive, Jason Kelsey, for retiring.
Oh, he's not. He didn't. He didn't confirm it. That's what I
He,
saw on Twitter. He didn't confirm it.
oh,
He
did he
went on his
not?
podcast and he said he was just in emotions, but he's still thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed.
Also,
Yeah, he.
for our previous thing, Jordan Davis played the most snaps in that game for the interior defensive line. He played 42
Wow.
snaps. Fletcher Cox played 38. Jalen Carter played 37. Milton Williams played 28. I didn't know that.
He played the most snaps in the playoff game?
For the interior defensive line. Yep.
He just you
Oh
don't
my
even
god.
feel it, see his presence.
That's incredible. Like how are you that how are you that big of a human being and like have such little of an impact?
Yeah.
That's like crazy.
Nolan Smith
Like,
only played 16. I think he had a
yeah,
sack.
like I know he's not gonna get like sacks or anything, but I'd expect maybe like an interior like stuff when Tampa was running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Or so maybe maybe a few tackles for loss, but
And then
man.
that's another thing in that game. Like their tackling was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like just all around. Like
I'm
yeah,
a
the
parking
DBs
jet, and
could
I'm all out.
good at tackling when they were getting burnt, but like the Bucks was just running the ball all day.
The funniest part is they should have been blown out even more, but Baker kept getting sold by his wide receivers and tight ends with some like pretty bad drops.
Yeah, it should have been a blowout. If we're being
Oh,
honest.
it was, but it didn't really feel that way until like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But yeah, their offense even is kind of in shambles because their two best offensive linemen are questionable to retire. Like Lane Johnson theoretically could retire too because he's been around for a long time. Same with Jason Kelsey, who surprisingly is like the second best center in football. I think only Creed Humphrey's probably better.
Yeah.
That defense all around for the Eagles was just terrible.
It's just bad.
Well,
But
like,
and then their best wide receiver is probably gonna want out. Like, I think AJ Brown's had just about enough of Sirianni and Hurts. Like that dude was pissed off. The only person that doesn't seem to have any problem, even the tight end has a problem. Like Dallas Goedert was screaming at Jalen Hurts on the sidelines. The only person who's always unproblematic is Devontae Smith, who hardly says anything because he's just a perfect man.
Dude, Hassan Reddick.
He's an angel.
Hassan Reddick played 49 snaps. He recorded 1 tackle. That was the only stat he recorded the whole game. Wasn't even a solo. So, he was out there doing the Vince Carter impression. Just running and jumping. 22 years.
Hey, see, this is why I prefer that teams, when you get an offensive head coach, you make sure that they're the actual OC, like what teams are doing with like LaFleur and like Shanahan and Mike McDaniel, because teams are always looking to poach good offensive coordinators and make them head coaches. So if you make your good OC a head coach, they can't poach it away, and your offense has some consistency and some sustainability because Troy Aikman said something very true on the broadcast on Monday Night Football, and it was that the most underrated part of
I don't know what that
football
was.
is
My bad.
play calling because it's an art. Like learning, like knowing how to make the correct call in the correct moment is something that only a few really good offensive minds really have, and Steichen pretty much has that. I mean, I think we've seen what he's done with that roster in Indianapolis, even though they didn't make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Kevin said Tampa Bay not putting that game away early tells me that the Lions should win with ease, and I agree. Which I'll be honest, I didn't think the Buccaneers even had a chance in this game, but y'all were saying how I should think oppositely, and that the Eagles have had a lot of problems, and y'all were definitely right. So I can see Tampa Bay putting up a fight early, but I just think the Lions are going to take it at home.
Well,
And I want to be
we're
right.
not done with Jalen Hurts.
No, I was saying
Hold on.
I wasn't done. I was just saying that to Kevin. I just want to chat. I just want to chat. We got viewers. We got viewers. Come on.
Oh, we get. I got some smoke for Jalen Hurts.
Gotta take care of the people, man. Gotta take care of the people. Come on.
Matt, you go ahead.
I got some smoke for Mr. ChatGPT speech. I guess he's enlightened from the from the playoff exit. I don't know. Jalen Hurts, I mean, he's a really, really good guy, really nice guy, but I don't know. He also seems pretty corny. Like, and on top of that, if he doesn't have 3 seconds in the pocket to throw, like he can't throw with any pressure in his face at all. That part of that is also because like his arm just isn't that strong too. But he's just lucky that he's just way more athletic. It's kind of unfortunately it's like a common thread of like Alabama quarterbacks, because like he's also another person who's not beating the carried allegations. Like when everything's going perfect, he can be an MVP candidate, but when something goes wrong, he's not that good. He's like an average quarterback.
Dakota Rain Prescott. I'm a hater. I'm a hater. I'm proud.
I think it's to a lesser degree.
It is. But I'm just a hater. I'm just a hater. What were you gonna say, Icy?
No, I was gonna say, he's basically, the Drew Walls of the NFL, bro. If y'all don't know who Drew Walls is, look him up on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter.
Oh my God, Bleacher Report did him dirty after that game. Did you see the graphic they had?
Yeah.
Is it on Twitter?
They made Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
Wait, I gotta find that. Hold on.
And I fuck with Jalen Hurts, bro. It's just he's in Philly, but the thing with Jalen Hurts is this, man. Yes, I think he has showed from last year. We just talking about last year. He showed a lot of improvement, but then he went back to like in the middle of that improvement between last year and the year before. Because he got better as a passer, but I don't know. I feel like I'll put it. I feel like his his quickness, like, kind of went down a little bit. I think he moves stiff. He's not as loose. But Mac, you hit it on the nail, bro. It's just like, bro, when the going gets tough, bro, like he kind of folded a lot and he kind of got bailed out.
I think he's a fancy game manager.
Yeah, I mean, I say before I figure out if he's a game manager or an elite quarterback, I give it another year. But from what I've seen this year, I just don't think he's like elite as what people was planning. Because I remember last year, at the end of the year, people were saying like, "Yo, who's the second best quarterback in the league? Third best quarterback, like top 5 at least." But I don't even know where to rank him now.
People had some nasty top 5s in the offseason. I hope you remember some of those top 5s.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
They were disgusting. I just want to say also, if I ever hear either of them in a top 5 again, I'm just gonna ignore you and never take you seriously. Honestly, dude, they were so nasty because both of them were in top 5s, and I was like, What? Are you serious?
So if you want, if you want to see what a franchise quarterback looks like, it's kind of funny how after that Bills Eagles game, the team that lost it got infinitely better, and the team that won just fell off a cliff. That's the difference in a franchise quarterback. Josh Allen carried that team to the playoffs, and Jalen Hurts folded. I mean, hey, listen, don't get me wrong. I love my Bama guys, but like in the NFL, I feel like you gotta call it how you see it. And like, I love Jalen Hurts, and I feel like he's a likable guy, but I don't know. It's just a common trend with Bama quarterbacks. It's just that you have the 5-star talent around you, and you don't really have to deal with much adversity. I mean, I know he had that great comeback in the SEC championship game, but yeah, no. Other than that, like, not really a whole lot of not
there's not much positives to say about him, really. I
yeah.
mean, if we
Hey,
talk about,
great
all right, let's be
great
honest.
smile though. Great smile.
Let's be honest here, bro. It's the same shit with Dak though. If we're being honest, it's like, yo, we know Dak has went through some shit with his family and his life. I mean, y'all remember when he got jumped at that cookout or some shit?
Oh my
Like
god.
yeah, he's been through some shit. If we're just talking about like quarterback play, anything, bro. Today, I believe Dak is a better quarterback than Hurts. That's just me. Just because, I mean, look at the season Dak had, and then like just look at him like when he's throwing the ball. I think he has a better deep ball than Hurts. I think he can process the defense better than Hurts.
Yeah.
And I feel like he can get it to his, and this is an underrated thing about quarterbacks, at least me personally, but he can get it to his number one guy. Like that's on page. Like, oh, you look through all the greats quarterbacks, like look at Brady, Gronk, or look at like future Hall of Fame, maybe Phillip Rivers and the Gates. I call him Antonio Gates. But like they found ways to give their number one guy the ball. I mean, look at Kansas City. Kelsey and Mahomes. Like that connection is pure.
What
Dak
even
and CD did the same shit. They just fucked up
feels
during the
gross,
wild card,
Janice?
bro.
When you
The
gargle
whole
your
season, bro. Like they was on the money. And like you look at the Eagles, bro. This whole year, bro. Hurts and AJ was just not on the same page. Some games they were, but then there was a disconnect like towards the end of the season where he just stopped getting 100 yards. He was on a roll and then it just stopped. And it was just like, bro, what the hell? That's where AJ got his frustrations from. But he just got to come back next year with better quarterback play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you do whatever you want. I mean, and also, you got to the thing about the offense is you're supposed to have that offensive line isn't as violent as it was last year. So they couldn't run the ball as good, and that kind of hurts too because it's like, all right, there's going to be more pass attempts, or there's going to be more like downfield passing or intermediate passing because we saw. I mean, like even when he was at Bama, there was screenplays being made. Like AJ would block for what's the other receiver they got? I'm trying to think.
Oh,
Wait
Devontae.
Um,
for
You talking about Bama or you
yeah,
talking
with
about Eagles?
Devontae.
yeah.
I'm talking about
Sorry,
Eagles.
AJ.
I mean
Oh, okay.
Devontae. I mean Devontae. That was bread and bread. That was bread and butter for him when he was in Bama, and they were doing it in the league. But it's like, dude, there's only so much screens you can do.
Yeah.
Like you have to throw the ball downfield, bro.
Yeah. I
So,
think I think that's another thing that separates elite quarterbacks from like good to decent quarterbacks is you're never scared when they have the ball in their hands. When it's like when you see like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen have the ball in your hand, you're like, all right, this is usually going to be a good thing. And I feel like and you don't mind them. They may not win all the time. I mean, it's very hard to win when you're a one-dimensional offense and you're having 40, 50 pass attempts. But if a quarterback like Jalen Hurts has to throw the ball like 30, 40 times, it means that you're down by like 2 scores.
Yeah.
And Kevin said Derek Carr 2016, Jalen Hurts 2022. But he also makes a good point. He said Dak has been in the league since 2016, and Hurts has been in the league since 2020. And Dak has seen more. I agree that Dak is better, but we got to give Hurts his time. And I agree with that. You do. Dak he has 4 years on him, so he has more experience, and you can't teach experience.
That's true.
That's true. Although you can't. Hurts might be a better runner, but I don't know how you can. I don't know how Hurts can get better at having better deep ball velocity or anything involving arm strength, because it's something you have or it's something you don't have. Like there's very little that goes into it, and as you age, as if they both continue to run and their legs get messed up, then it's only going to weaken their arm.
It's like that whole conversation conversation that me and Icy were having about CJ and Bryce. Or no, excuse me, it wasn't CJ. It wasn't me and Icy. It was me and Tay. We were talking about how I said CJ has more, like a higher ceiling, more potential because of his arm strength, how tall he is. But it's your athletic ability. Like you will only be as good. There is a ceiling for everybody with your athletic ability, no matter who you are. You can only improve it so much. And some of us are just born better than others. It sucks, but it's true. And if they've already reached that athletic ability, it's kind of like Justin Fields. That's why I'm a little afraid for the Falcons to get Justin Fields, because I feel like, not for his athletic ability, but more of his quarterback ability. I don't know if there's any more. I don't know if he can go higher. Personally, maybe that's not the same. I don't know, but it's just how I feel.
Well, I know what you're talking about, because quarterbacks that are more physically and athletically gifted just have a higher ceiling, and therefore they have a lower floor, because I'm trying to think of it, like you can't teach like being 6'4", 6'5" with a cannon of an arm.
You can't teach what Anthony Richardson has.
Yeah, exactly. Or Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. You can't.
Exactly.
Or Matt Stafford. You can't teach throwing at different angles. Like, you can either do it or you can't do it. Now, you can learn how to do it accurately if you can do it. But like, if you can't do it, then you're limited at this point.
Stafford is older than Mahomes and all this stuff, but it's more of just like your intuition. It's like your natural ability. Like, some people are just naturally born to be a passer of the ball, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, whatever they're throwing. It's just some people are just naturally gifted at doing that, and some people aren't. And some people are just good at sports, and they just happen to pick the NFL. So
yeah. But yeah. Oh shoot, you guys want to talk about the best game of the playoffs so far?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the Rams versus Detroit. I'll say this though. I know some of my boys might have been listening from Detroit, and I'm gonna talk to them about this. But I didn't really fuck with the way they treated Stafford. I ain't gonna lie, they was booing the kids and shit. I ain't. That's a little iffy, bro. And everybody's saying Lions fans are weird now. I'm like, it's a little, it's a little diffy, but shout out to Lions. Clap it up for them. 35-year streak broken.
Yeah, Lions. Very, very happy for the Lions and their fans.
I'm happy for them, man.
Hey, listen. All I'm gonna say is, when Seattle booed Russ, they won, and when Detroit did it, they won. So maybe there's, there's a little magic in there.
Get in their head.
Hey, because when Tom Brady came to town and we cheered him on, we lost. So I don't. I mean, that's completely different, but still, I don't know. Maybe one extra boo would have gotten in his head.
Yeah,
but go on.
That game, it came down to coaching. Really, Sean McVay versus Ben Johnson. Their first half was fireworks, and then kind of toned down in the second half. But let's talk about the Rams real quick. Personally, I don't know about y'all, but I think Sean McVay should get Coach of the Year because this Rams team, nobody had them making the playoffs, and I don't think anybody had them getting to like 5 wins. I think the line came out 4 wins at the beginning of the season, and what they finished with 10. I want to say
Was it that?
Yeah,
I'll
was
check.
it 10 or a
yeah,
9 win team, something like
yeah.
that.
They're for their Vegas odds. It had to have been. It couldn't have been above like 5.5
It
for
couldn't have
expected
been,
wins.
bro. And they lost by 1 point against the Lions. And then like the Lions, I thought, I ain't gonna lie, I had the Rams coming out because I wasn't so sure about how the Lions was going to defend Puka. I say Puka Nuka, but Puka Nuka and Cup and Puka Nuka put out a show, but they survived, man. And the game really came down to the red area, the red zone, and Ben Johnson. He went 3 for 3, and McVay he went 0 for 3.
Man,
I'm trying to look for the Rams.
just makes me sad, man. Ben Ben Johnson is going to be a phenomenal coach because there are not many coaches in any game that get the better of McVay. So whoever gets that guy is getting an absolute steal of a head coach.
Their betting
Uh,
line was 6.5. By the way,
especially when you consider that Matt Stafford still is way better than Jared Goff. I mean, I think that's safe to say. Matt Stafford is pretty much the reason that the Rams were able to get over the top and win a Super Bowl. I don't think that's blasphemous to say, even though there were some Detroit fans that were talking about, oh, Matt Stafford walked in the same way he walked out a loser, like he didn't win a Super Bowl like 2 years ago, but whatever. Uh, but no, also that and sometimes having the better roster just makes things way easier, and that seemed to be the case for the Lions because it was pretty evident that the Rams only have about four really good players, and three of them play on offense, and one of them is Aaron Donald.
one of them almost retired. So
Yeah, one of them almost retired, and the other guy, I think Stafford has like tendonitis in his shoulder, not his shoulder, in his elbow, in his like throwing elbow, I think.
he's a
So
dog.
I
Man.
mean, he is,
Threw a
but yeah,
touchdown on a
it's
torn ACL. Crazy.
yeah, crazy. But no, but the fact that Detroit only won by 1 point is a testament to how good the McVay and Stafford combo still is. So I mean, it'll be an interesting offseason for them to see who retires and who doesn't.
I have a question real quick before we move
Yeah.
on because we were talking about Stafford. So we asked the question in space, right? And the question was, who, if you hypothetically speaking, if you could just take a quarterback and replace him on your team, who would you do it with? And the quarterback that we were replacing was Dak Prescott. And I won't say who, but they said that there's only one in maybe two quarterbacks that they would replace Dak Prescott with for their offense. Just if you could just pluck him and move him. Only one, maybe two.
That's a lie. I could
I wanted to
I
cry.
I could name several quarterbacks right now that I could replace Dak Prescott with.
Let's go. Let's go through them. Mahomes,
Yeah, Mahomes,
Josh Allen,
Josh Allen,
Joe Burrow.
50-50.
Really? Wow, I would take Joe Burrow. Dude, he's a dog.
Because if you think about it, like this would technically be the worst receiving core that Joe Burrow's ever had.
True. That's true.
Because I mean,
True.
how good is Joe Burrow without Jamar Chase and T Higgins? Do we know?
We don't know.
We
I
do
would
not know.
I would easily take Justin Herbert over Dak Prescott.
Yep.
Because
Four.
with Justin Herbert, the Chargers are at least a functioning team without him, they are a UFL team. Like they are nothing without Justin.
Mm-hmm. So 5, Desmond Ritter. No, I'm
Of course, of course. Matt Stafford.
That was the one that
Matty
I
Stafford.
said. That was the one that I had a problem with because I said Matthew Stafford and they were like, "Oh no shot." I was like, "What? You kidding me?"
Yeah. What? So
You just won a
are
Super
we
Bowl.
just gonna?
What are you talking about?
Are we just gonna ignore that in 1 year Cooper Cup went from being like good to being a Triple Crown winner, and the only difference was Jared Goff and Matt Stafford?
Yep.
Yeah.
Matt, I would honestly, you know what? I might get killed for this, but I'll say it. Baker Mayfield. Put Baker Mayfield in that Cowboys offense.
Hey, it's nasty. I like it. Keep it going.
Hey, Baker Mayfield put up basically a top 10 quarterback season with a team that was expected to be dead last in the worst division in football.
Oh, I don't know about that one. Hold on. I don't think anybody said the Bucks was going to be dead last.
Oh no, a lot of people said the Bucks were dead last.
Yeah, I think people said like the
I'll admit it, I was one
Panthers
of them.
or the Falcons.
You didn't say the Panthers.
I don't know. I said we was going to be 9-8. I didn't say the Panthers, but I know a lot of people did say
You had Saints and Falcons as the bottom 2. Or no, excuse me. You had Buccaneers and Falcons as the bottom 2. And then
Yeah,
Saints and Panthers were the top 2.
Yeah. I didn't think they was going to be dead last, but I knew they was going to be in the mix.
I had Falcons, Buccaneers as the top 2. I had us winning. Then we suck. So. Oh yeah, there's more quarterbacks.
There is more quarterbacks. Let's see. Honestly, you know what? Give me
Lamar Jackson first off. Let me go ahead and
well,
say
oh
that.
yeah, obviously Lamar Jackson. I don't know why. I guess it's just because he's been resting for the past week.
Yeah.
Just kind of forgot.
And then,
you could throw in. Oh my god, you could throw in CJ, obviously.
But their thing was only Mahomes, and then they said, I think they might have said no to Josh Allen, and then the only other one they said yes to was Lamar, or like maybe Lamar.
That's insane. I know that Josh Allen can be a turnover machine, but for every interception he throws about 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what I said.
And on top of it, name a quarterback who could function in that Bills offense. Like could put up like adequate numbers besides maybe Patrick Mahomes. Like Josh Allen has carried that entire offense for about 2 years now.
He's incredible.
Because let's be honest, Stephon Diggs kind of looks a little slower.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, earlier, whenever you said that D'Lo was going off in the past couple games, he has 29 points right now.
Hey, there you go. Maybe more guys to just air their grievances out on podcasts. It seems it worked for D'Lo.
Got a lot on their mind. They need to get it off.
Yeah. But do we want to do next round predictions?
But we haven't got done with the wild card teams.
Oh, that's true. That's true. What other wild card?
There's the Lions.
That's true.
We gotta talk about obviously the other Monday Night Football game. The Bills.
Oh yeah.
It was the Bills and the Steelers.
Steelers, yeah.
Hardly
watched that.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin, suffering from his own success. I mean, what do you want? What do you want the guy to do? He's such a good head coach where he takes shitty teams to the playoffs, but he don't get elite first round picks just because it's like they're in the playoffs. I mean, just last year, Ben Roethlisberger went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
last leg. Like,
That's very disrespectful to Mr. Consentlessburger. That was not Ben Roethlisberger. That was that was the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger.
yeah, I'm crying.
They did get Georgia legend Broderick Jones, so I will say that. I think
That's
he
true.
got cooked on a couple plays in that playoff game, but
He did get.
he can grow. He can grow. He's young,
All,
rookie.
all, I was hardly paying attention to that game, and all I heard was Steelers' first round pick gave up that sack.
And that will be the Steelers' first round pick, Broderick Jones, on his backside. Dang.
No.
God, and dude, like all of the Georgia players on the Steelers were just kind of. I mean, George Pickens had some moments, but at the same time, come on.
Also, a ghost made him fumble, and he blamed it on the refs.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Come on, George.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I'm not gonna lie. For as bad as the Steelers look, I don't know what it is. I think it's just because the Bills are so Josh Allen dependent. I feel like their defense, despite having a couple of turnovers, didn't look that impressive. And outside of Josh Allen, their offense didn't really look all that impressive. Like they kind of remind me of the way that they looked last year, where a team that's a step above the Steelers is going to embarrass them at home, like the Bengals did last year. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm giving away my pick here, but I think Mahomes is going to methodically pick their secondary apart.
I could see it, especially with those injuries. I could see it.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, both their starting safeties are out, and Damar Hamlin, the comeback player of the year, can't get on the field. And when he does, it's he's the 12th man on the field for a field goal. And you got Ghetto Gronk making nasty memes after that. Things that I can't say on YouTube.
No. Those words cannot be uttered.
No.
Yeah, nasty work. But when we look at the Steelers, what's next for them? What did they do?
They're kind of stuck.
I mean, yeah.
They're stuck in that 9 to
grind it out.
They're just gonna have to until TJ Watt's wheels fall off.
I mean, unless they can get a quarterback, I don't know what they do. I mean,
if you're the Steelers, I think at some point you just have to build up the roster to the point where when you do, you kind of have to pull a Chiefs where you build up the roster to where, like, if you see a quarterback you like, you're comfortable giving up a couple of first round picks, because unless you find a diamond in the rough at quarterback, which is extremely rare, then you're just going to be in that 9 to 10 win range of like wild card first round exit. And by the way, for the people that don't realize this, the last time the Steelers won a playoff game was when Alex Smith was the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs.
2016, right?
Yeah. 2016, calendar year of 2017, January 2017. It's been almost 8 years.
Yeah.
Getting pretty old.
They definitely need to figure out if Kenny Pickett is the guy or not, and they probably didn't say that he probably isn't. Yeah.
Spoiler, he's not.
Yeah. But I mean, you see, look at the Bills. I think the Bills can beat Kansas City. I think you gotta look at it. They have lost to them for the past 2 times in the playoffs. I think Josh Allen. Let me ask y'all this question: do y'all think each and every next playoff game you play is the biggest in a quarterback's career, or just in a player's career in general?
Yeah. So I think specifically for these two quarterbacks, I think for this divisional round, these two playoff games are the biggest for Lamar and Josh Allen, just because we know how good and how talented they are. They just don't have the postseason success to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's more for Josh Allen because this is his boogeyman, the team that he seemingly can't beat in the playoffs. So I think it rewrites a lot of some narrative. Well, I can't say a lot because he'd have to win a Super Bowl, but it would change some narratives around him if they do beat Kansas City. But I don't know. If there's one thing that travels well, it's a good defense, and Kansas City definitely has that.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
I think if you're looking at both of those quarterbacks, this is probably the best chance that both of them may have to win a Super Bowl. If you look at their teams, maybe not so Josh Allen, but probably Lamar.
Lamar, yeah.
Like this may be the best chance he has to win a Super Bowl, especially if you look across like who's left. Like this is a down year for the Chiefs, and we don't know how many down years they're gonna have. And then you look across, and the only team you're really worried about there is the 49ers. And if something
Which they
happened
blew
there,
out by.
exactly. This is probably the best chance you have. So don't blow it.
I don't know, man. The Ravens have done this before, though. Like that's the thing that scares me for them is every time they're a top seed, they lose in the divisional.
Yeah. Weren't they a 7 seed or 6 seed or something when they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. I think they were the last team to make the playoffs in the AFC. They were like the 6th seed.
Mm-hmm. I'm like that. But yeah. Other than that, let me see. We covered the Cowboys, Green Bay,
Mm-hmm.
Eagles, and Bucks. Um,
Lions and Rams.
Browns and Browns, Rams, um, Kansas City Chiefs. What other game? There's one more
Yeah, we
game.
covered the Bills and the Steelers. See,
Oh yeah, Bill Steelers.
Oh, that's so.
yeah,
Yeah,
see that game was so
Yeah.
forgettable that like we just talked about it and completely forgot
It's
about
like
it.
what was that game? What was?
Yeah.
yeah. Well, let's go ahead and make our picks for the divisional. I think the first game on Saturday is Ravens. Oh no, it's Texans at Ravens. Who we got winning that game?
Go Birds. Go Ravens. The real birds.
This is tough. It's only tough because what I just talked about, the Ravens' history of being a top seed. But oh my god,
I mean, we get
I
a
don't know.
generational game. I will say that.
It's a rookie quarterback just hasn't won more than one playoff game. So I think with that in mind, I think I got to go the Ravens. But I don't know. I'm not feeling too good about it.
I could either see this game being close or being like not a blowout, but just a solid win for the Ravens. Just like I could
I
see C.J. Stroud going out like on something crazy. I could see it.
I could see what happened the last time the Ravens were the 1 seed, and D'Amico Ryans has a great defensive game plan like Vrabel did, where they contain Lamar and CJ kind of puts together some pretty some pretty good drives. Their run game gets going a little bit, but I don't know. I think Lamar has matured since then, a lot since then. So
Mhm.
I think I don't know. I just got faith in Lamar to come back now because he has shown that ability. Remember when people were saying he was like a front runner for a little bit?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't know. Love Lamar. Gotta trust him this time.
Also, shout out Todd Munkin. Think he's gonna cook.
Yeah, that's true.
Who you guys?
I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Got to. Since my team didn't make the playoffs, we're hopping on the bandwagon. The wheels come off. Ravens flop. Then the next game of the day, I think it's excuse me.
Packers
It's at the
49ers.
Kansas City game. Packers 49ers.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think I'm confident with the 49ers winning that game. They're gonna handle business.
Yeah, I agree. Both both the game we just talked about and this game, they're both favored by 9. So I'm going to go 49ers. Not because of that, but I think the 49ers are just better.
Yep. Now, this is the team that I'm hitching my wagon to because Kyle Shanahan's a genius. Mike LaFleur has never beat, kind of like how Mike LaFleur owns Dan Quinn. Kyle Shanahan owns Mike LaFleur, and I don't see that changing. So, as they say, bang, bang, Niner gang.
Yeah. The next game, which is on Sunday, is let me see. It's another NFC game. It
Chiefs.
is
It's Chiefs
the
Bills.
Rams. Oh, Chiefs.
Oh no, you're right.
Oh, Chiefs.
Oh,
No,
it's
no,
They have it
that's
it's
backwards.
a nightcap game.
They have it backwards.
Lions, Bucks.
Lions, Bucks.
Why do they have it like that? They have the 3:00 game as the bottom game, and then the 6:30 game is the top game. That's confusing. My bad.
Yeah. But yeah, Lions, Bucks. Who y'all got in that game?
Lions.
Ooh, I don't know. Love me some Baker, but I think it's going to be a shootout. The Lions defense is definitely not that good. Bucks defense, I don't know. Their Bucks defense is actually pretty good. I don't know. Just can't bet against my guy Ben Johnson. So give me the Lions.
Yeah, I think this could be higher scoring, but I'm going Lions. I don't see them losing this game. No real analysis to that point either. I just don't see it happening, especially at home. Eating kneecaps, no shot.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna go with. Oh man. I probably have to go with the Lions. I think the Lions get into the NFC champion. And now to the main event of the 4 games. Chiefs versus Bills. I already said I got the Bills. How about y'all?
I'm sticking with my picks that I had in the early December, whatever it was. I'll pull up my tweet on the stream. Give me the Bills. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs. Elite defense should be enough to contain Josh Allen, and then I think the Bills defense is going to falter like they did last year, and Mahomes is way better than Joe Burrow. So yeah, no, give me GOAT Andy Reid and Mahomes. Give me the Chiefs.
And for anyone on the stream, it was December 19th. The Bills were out of the playoffs at that time. And I said Ravens, Bills, AFC Championship, 49ers, Lions, NFC Championship. And everybody's reaction was Lions. Yeah, Lions, buddy. Yeah. I know what I'm talking about sometimes. Dude, look at all these replies. Lions.
Lions. Is it the same person?
No. Just a bunch of different people. Even D put Lions and then like some GIF. A GIF.
Well, I think we're done with the NFL talk. Let's quickly going on to the association, the NBA, National Basketball Association. There was a big time. Well, there's a trade going that went through today. The Pacers trading for Toronto, the last piece of the 2019 team. Pascal Siakam, Beyblade himself. He's going to the Pacers for I think it was for Brown.
I got the list up if you want me to say it.
Mr. Bruce Brown, technically 3 first-round picks.
So the Raptors got Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, Kira Lewis Jr., Indiana's 2024 first-round pick, OKC's 2024 first-round pick, and then Indiana's 2026 first-round pick. The Pacers got Pascal and the Pelicans' second round pick, and then the Pelicans are getting compensation to be named later.
Okay. I think this is a win for the Pacers. I mean, yeah, they had to give up a lot, and Ujiri, he's tricking people because he's not just as good as a GM. He's just overcharging people. But hey, um, Pacers, this is a W in my book. He brings like I said, playoff time. I think the guard play is going to get them through the regular season. I don't know where they are right now, but they have phenomenal guard play, especially with Tyrese. But playoff time, you got to play through your forwards, and they didn't really have like a good. What we count? Siakam like a 4 or 3, like a tweener.
He's more of a 4 probably.
Yeah,
More for
just because of how he moves, honestly.
But he brings defense. Also he's another 20+ point scorer a night. And it's just more of a threat offensively for the Pacers. And to be honest, I think this move gets them out to at least the second round. I think they're gonna win their first round matchup if they don't fall or anything. But I feel like if they have a pretty favorable first round matchup, I think they win and go to the second round.
As long as Howie's healthy.
Yeah.
Yep. And as long as they don't play, well, I don't anticipate them having to play the Celtics in the first round. As long as they don't play the Heat, I think they should be fine. I think they can beat the Bucks or the Sixers in the first round.
Yeah, actually, I could. I was trying to think about that.
You said the Bucks?
Yeah.
They do have their number when it comes to the regular season, but it's I don't know about the Bucks.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying is that if you have bad perimeter defense in the playoffs, you are not making it past the second round.
That is true. I will say though, if we're talking about bad defense, the Pacers have to be up there for worst defenses.
Facts. They don't play no defense at all.
Shoot, neither do the Bucks.
True.
Yeah, so
and Chris Middleton's clearly washed. So
yeah, the Bucks.
And he's not the same, but the injuries have killed him.
Shoot, honestly, to a degree, Brook Lopez too.
Yeah, if we're talking about to a degree, but I feel like he's still the same player almost.
He's a little slower and a little more stiff.
Yeah,
just because of age.
Given.
I will say the Bucks and the Pacers are, if you at least go off of points per game wise, are like the same team, because the Bucks are averaging 124.2 points, the Pacers 125.6, and then on defense they're both giving up over 120. So
Jesus Christ.
And then like Boston has a 10-point differential. That's crazy.
That's why defense is underrated. You can't win a chip having less than a top 10 defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about trades though, what team do y'all think should make a move before the trade deadline? We just throw out names. Of course, like I say the Lakers.
Yeah, of course the Lakers. Yeah, the Hawks.
Hawks just need to blow it up. Blow it up.
The Bulls need to make a trade.
The Bulls need to honestly blow it up.
Bulls need to blow it up. Hawks need to blow it up. Raptors are beginning to blow it up. All of them need to blow it up. Blow it up. Let it
go. Who else? I think. I'm trying to. Who else? Portland's probably going to trade off some players at the deadline.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant is a name to look out. I will say that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, and then of course the man who's always in rumors but never gets traded, Isaiah Stewart.
Do y'all think?
I think your Stees might make a move.
I think I think. Oh, it's just unfortunate because I think we might come up just short as far as money goes. But if it's possible, I think the Celtics will trade for Bruce Brown
I could see that.
I can
because,
see.
and I've been saying this for a couple years, even when he was in Brooklyn. Like he's a great seventh man for a championship level team. Like he's one of the first options off the bench for a championship team. Like he's just a winning player, and you need that going in the playoffs. I'm glad that he got his got his fair shake in Denver, and he's a local guy. I think he's from Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because he threw out the first pitch at Fenway Park for a game. That was pretty fun.
I feel like teams like.
But
Oh, my fault. I thought you.
but if it's not him, then I think my number one I think is Alex Caruso, just because Alex Caruso is anchoring a pretty shitty defense and he's making them way better than what they are.
Hmm.
Plus he's a quality offensive player. But do you guys remember when the Bulls were like somehow the seventh seed and Caruso by himself was giving like Giannis fits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Elmer Fudd.
Hey, shout out, Baldy. I'd say
Yeah.
for teams that are looking to make a trade, I'd say maybe the Knicks make one more. Try to get the back in their lineup a little better. Um, Miami, but it's just like you say all these teams though, and besides people on like Chicago or I mean maybe Sadiq Bey on Atlanta, like I just don't know who you're gonna trade for that's gonna be that drastic of an upgrade unless you just have a
Yeah,
glaring hole. I mean,
that's
I haven't
true.
looked at every team's roster, so
The thing is also I feel like a lot of the teams just don't have like a lot of assets to trade for. Specifically, like I don't think Milwaukee has that many picks left.
yeah,
I don't think
Minnesota
you
doesn't.
know I yeah. Actually, oh shoot, that's another team that could make a move is Minnesota. Minnesota could add
That's true.
somebody.
They've
That's
been
on.
they've been pump faking about the cat trade for a while. So
I think they're
maybe
fine right
Cat
now.
ends up in New York. Oh, what about Donovan Mitchell? How do you feel about him?
I don't think that you can pair Donovan Mitchell and Anthony Edwards. I just don't see how that works because
Oh no, I'm just talking about
oh
him just being traded. Yeah.
oh
Go
no
ahead.
I think the Cavs are still in the playoff race. Yeah,
Yeah, they're fourth. They're
Yeah,
24.
it's
They're
not.
24 and 15. I mean,
yeah
they're
I don't see
they're eight
I
and
don't
two,
really see
8-2 in their last 10 6-game win streak.
they're yeah I think they're pretty much where they need to be right now. Like they're a top four team in the East.
And I don't even think they have Garland right now.
No, they don't, and they just won their sixth straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But although I will say though they gotta make up some ground because I would not want to play the Miami Heat in the first round. Like that,
Mhm.
me personally, outside of Boston, that's the other team that I would not want to play in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, the Knicks, Heat, Pacers, and Magic are all 2 games within each other.
Yeah,
Yeah. Shout out to the Magic. They've been really competing this year.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Even though they lost tonight, I mean, hey, my Pablo agenda, is thriving because he hit a crazy shot before Murray hit the game winner.
that's true.
Pablo.
That's true. I don't it some the Magic are a team that I think needs to stand pat at the trade deadline. I
Yep.
think you gotta keep letting this young core kind of gel together because they do have some pretty good young role players too. That I don't think that you need to give their minutes to like a veteran.
I just, if I'm being unbiased, I hope that they don't have the same thing happen to them that happened to us, where they make where crazy things happen, and they make a deep playoff run, and it like really screws them over because then they start trading people away or losing people like that because they think that they're in win now mode when really their win now window should be like 2-3 years down the road. Like that's what's killed the Hawks because we thought that our win now mode was now when really we needed about 2 or 3 more years to get more players. But making that ECF killed us, like it because it changed our mindset.
That's true. Although, would you trade that for all the funny moments that playoff run produced, where
I mean, that
Trey,
is true.
Trey Young Trey Young to this day is still the most hated man in New York City, and when Phillies fans try to bring up the recent couple of playoff series, you could always say the Sixers blew like a 3-1 lead.
Blew a 20. I think it was a
20
26-point lead.
26-point lead.
Yeah.
Hey, that was more than 25-point lead.
I knew you were gonna say it. I was waiting on it. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know what was gonna happen. I should have said it first.
But no, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's easier for me to say, but it's hard to like give up. Not to get too off track. It's hard to give up like deep playoff runs for something that potentially could have happened.
That is true. And I mean, if Trey doesn't get hurt, I mean, maybe it's biased, but I feel like we could have made the finals if he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, or if Chris Middleton just didn't somehow become Michael Jordan.
If Chris Middleton didn't summon Michael LeBron Bryant the fourth, we might have won that game. I don't know.
Yeah, damn, that would have been great. It's funny. We were a couple of injuries away from like a one of the nastiest finals of all time, Clippers and Hawks.
And we would have somehow lost. And I know we would have.
And speaking about the Clippers, they're probably the best basketball team that is playing right now.
I disagree.
You think so?
Really?
The best basketball team that's playing right now?
Yeah.
I disagree.
I know you can say the C's.
Yeah, it's the Celtics.
I mean, look. Go ahead.
Hey, listen, the Celtics beat the Clippers by like 30 points in LA.
That's okay.
Hey, Kawhi was too scared to play.
Yeah.
He said, listen, he heard the Jaylen Brown and Tatum comps and was like, those guys are kind of better than me right now. I'm gonna kind of not play.
Well, I think at full strength right now, because I think Kawhi played the other night against OKC. A young and explosive OKC team who's been really impressive too. Shout out to them. They really look really good. Now, obviously, they got allegations to face come playoff time, see if they're frauds or not. But right now, they hooping, man. Yeah. Especially shout out to PG. And I don't think PG got a new nickname. I don't know if y'all saw the press conference at the end. I'm finding it.
What is it? What's his new nickname?
Oh my god.
I can't imagine.
He needs to stop with the nicknames because it never ends well for him.
He didn't name, like, he didn't give himself the nickname. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
What is it? Pajama P because he put him to sleep or something? I just made that up. I just made that up.
It's great.
Pajama P is crazy. But it is, oh, here we go. His nickname, it was off in the Erykah Badu song. Shout out if you know her. It's where is it? It's Paul. Some say it's Paul Smooth George. It's a nasty nickname. Hold on.
Yeah, it's weird. Just doesn't really flow. It's not smooth at all.
Oh no, my fault. It's Paul Don't You Know George, because that's his theme song.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
What?
I know. He's been hooping though.
Why do I get clowned? All right.
Hey, listen. Although I will say this, I was in the trenches when that James Harden trade went down. I was in the trenches when they were losing like 5-6 in a row. I was like, hey, listen, let them get their chemistry right. Great trade for the Clippers. Looking damn good. Hey, all James Harden needed was a couple of reliable teammates. Although I would say that don't really disappear in the playoffs, but I mean, ever since they've been in LA, that's kind of what they've been, kind of what Kawhi and PJ have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see what happens when we get there. But
Prove me
yeah,
wrong, man. I think
they,
we had said that he needed Embiid to get those assists, and I mean he's still getting his assists with in the Clippers, bro. I
on
think he just wanted to be a point guard at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's. I think I said that on when he was traded. Like all he needs to do is to be in that point guard role where he's averaging like 17, 18 points, but he's got like 7, 8 assists. Like that's perfect for what James Harden is now.
I agree. I will say
Yeah.
my concerns from the beginning were, you know, injury history. And again, like we were saying with, I can't remember who it was with because it was like an hour ago, but the best ability is availability. And it's, it's great that they're playing right now, but it's like the same thing. And I hate to, I relate everything to Georgia, but to Georgia, we didn't, Brock, Lad was unhealthy, or not healthy, Brock was unhealthy. The best ability is availability. And if you're not available to play, when the actual time comes around for you to play, you may look good now, but don't mean to quote my dad, don't mean a hell of beans.
Don't mean hell. There you go.
Don't mean a hell of beans.
Yeah,
But maybe,
but
maybe they can hang another Pacific banner up there. Maybe they can,
Hey, maybe for the new arena they could hang those division banners.
like the lines.
yeah,
Yeah. Sellout was at a Clippers game, and I said, "Wow, that's great." Clippers fan at a Lakers home game, crazy.
yeah.
That's good. I don't know. It's wild though. I don't know if I could be a fan of a team that rents a stadium from a rival. Like that's insane to me.
So I was about to say, it's really nice of it's really nice of the Lakers to let the Clippers play their games inside their home stadium.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. It's wild. Oh man.
It's like the biggest little brother in all of sports.
Yeah, it's
Or
like the
smallest.
Giants and the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah. Anyways.
Um, any other team y'all think that should go out and try to get a piece or two?
I mean,
I know
if
we
you,
kind of said the big ones.
I mean, the other ones would be in the West because we were talking about the East right there, or mainly East right there. But Dallas, it's just again like I don't know who you get to really improve your roster if your goal is a championship.
Yeah, I don't
I just
know what the asset situation is like
yeah, it's
for
just
some of
like
these
I just
teams.
feel like there's only so much improvement right now that you can have through a trade deadline, and I guess that's kind of the thing with expanding the playoffs. There's more teams in the playoffs, so there's more playoff games, and that's good for all of us. But at the same time, like you have teams making moves that aren't gonna matter. It's like Utah and John Collins. Uh, doesn't matter.
Yeah. It it's like the teams that need to like make moves don't have assets. Like, do the Suns need more bench depth? Absolutely. What do they have to give up? Absolutely nothing. It's like that with the Lakers too, and like with the Warriors. Like the Warriors need serious help. Do do they have? They don't even have their own first round pick. Like they don't have anything of like value to trade except for like Kaminga and Moody, and like
And
that's it.
with you saying that, if you try to trade a pick in your future, you're killing your future. And right now,
Yeah,
you already really don't have a future with this team. So why kill your next team's future? I mean, you're just like you're tying yourselves behind your back, or tying your hands behind your back even more. Like it's tying yourself. I can't speak.
yeah,
Sure.
But to what you're saying, New Orleans, Dallas, Sacramento, all these teams that are like in the middle or fringe of being ahead of the play-in. And then y'all said Lakers, Suns, Clippers. I don't know. Like whenever you get to that 4-3-2-1, I don't know. OKC actually, I could see them maybe doing it
I
for
feel
deep steps
OKC could, but I don't
because they have
know
the assets.
who. Well, they definitely have the assets, but I don't know who you give up to, like, who's going to make you better that you're just going to give up, like, rotational minutes.
Yeah.
I know some Oklahoma City fans want to trade Giddy. There's two big question marks. One, who are you going to trade him to, and two, I don't think people want that drama around their team.
Yeah, I think they'll just probably keep him with all that stuff that's going on.
Yeah, but I think that's enough for NBA talk. I know if you was with us and you watched our emergency podcast, everybody know by now should know that Nick Saban, has retired, and everybody was guessing that there's gonna be a lot of decommits. People gonna hit the I can't
Transfer
talk.
portal.
Transfer portal. Jesus Christ, I fucking like pause when I say this, but like my lips are dry, and it's like, bro, like I need some water or some shit.
Yeah, get this man some water.
Yo, Chan, that's crazy. But yeah, they hit the transfer portal, and they're all right about it. Their best player on the defensive side, Caleb Downs, he hit the portal. There's a couple other guys, right, Chan? Like there was about at least six or seven.
Yeah. What was it? No, there were a couple of, outside of Caleb Downs. It wasn't really anybody serious. It was mainly like depth corners.
Like today, it was Proctor, and then there's been others. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, that's right. Caden Proctor did. That's pretty upsetting.
I'll just scroll down Hayes because I think Hayes has every single one of them, or maybe not every single one of them, but he has most of them. Let's see. Yeah, Caden Proctor, Caleb, Zion Grady decommitted. He was the number 1 edge for next year. Who else? Yeah, Kendrick Blackshear. There's more. 2025 edge, Javion Hilson flipped from Bama to Florida State. He's the number 2 edge. So they lost the number 1 edge and the number 2 edge. Crazy considering that we are on Twitter and I'm saying that word. But they lost the number 1 and number 2 edge for the 2025 class. I just spit on my computer. Who else? Mason Short decommitted. Trey Amos is transferring. He was going to start.
Again.
Yeah. Jamie French with 2 F's. That's weird. His name is Jamie, or Jaime FF Wrench. Like F.
Yep.
F French. That's weird.
F French.
It's crazy. But it's a lot of players. Amari Knoblach, and then who's the wide receiver? Isaiah Bond.
Yeah, Isaiah Bond.
It's been a lot though, but since we have started talking about it, a lot of, not Mac, but a lot of the Bama fans that are on Twitter that talk about Twitter every day are not putting enough blame on Nick Saban. And what I mean by that is how Nick Saban left, because he left like that, and I don't think he really told anybody. Which, again, to his point, or to his, to defend him, he may not have known that this was going to be it, and maybe things just happened and they built up, and then by now it was just like, it's time. Maybe he just kind of realized that, but it's kind of killed Alabama, because now Alabama has this 30-day window, and it's been like that for about a week now, a week and a half, and where all their players can transfer, and they can't really get anybody besides Washington, Arizona, and a couple other teams where their head coaches left, like South Alabama, because their head coach is going to Alabama. But they are kind of screwed right now. Now, come April, there's another window where they can get transfers because it'll be like after the semester, or it's like late April, around May,
Yeah.
like that. So they'll be fine. They'll fill out their roster, but I guess we've kind of learned what we've already known about college football, and it's that the coach runs the program. It's not really the only program that really sells itself is Ohio State, because it's just such a big brand. Maybe Notre Dame, maybe Texas. Huge maybes. But Ohio State's the only one, and we're seeing that now. I didn't mean to ramble. My bad.
Yeah. And we can see it now. Just like you said earlier, it's a trickle down effect. Washington's coach, Saban left, so Washington coach, he went and took the job, and then Arizona's coach, he went and took the job in Washington, and now, before the podcast, there was
Facts, Kev. I need it.
9 players.
I need that.
And that left that hit the portal in 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, college football in general has just become like. It's kind of like, I'll put it. It's kind of like you got a dime piece, but she's just there for the money, basically. And it's just like, she sees something you want and you can't give it to her, she will leave you for the next nigga, so she can get that, basically.
Well, it's also, you can't blame the players for leaving, like if their head coach leaves, because it used to be if your head coach left, you were screwed. Because you can't transfer. If you transfer, you had to sit out a year, no matter who you were, what you did. You had to sit out every single time. So now with this 30-day window thing, that's kind of why it's, on Saban, because of when he left. But again, if he didn't know he was going to retire, then you can't blame him. But at the same time, he kind of just screwed over Alabama. But what he should have done, if he would have known, or if he knew earlier, was announce it at the beginning of the season, and then, they could start the process of keeping all their players and stuff like that a lot earlier. So because
now
screwed. Yeah,
because you can't. I'm not even mad at all the players that left. The only 2 that I'm really upset about is Proctor, just because he's a 5-star left tackle. There's not a lot of those. And obviously the best safety in all of college football that just left as a true freshman. But you can't get mad at them. They were promised to be coached by Nick Saban. And if Nick Saban is no longer there, then and if that's the whole reason why you came to Alabama, then shit, leave if you want to.
well,
I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't really be mad. And I feel like in the same token, I can't blame Nick Saban. The man just gave me about 15 to 16 years of excellent college football.
Exactly.
He could do. Nick Saban could do whatever he wants.
That is true.
I just kind of would have preferred it that if he was gonna retire, that he would have just been like, hey, by the way, we might have a great replacement, but I ain't gonna be here, son. I can't do this no more.
Yeah, that's why. Obviously, he can. He's done enough for the program to where he can do whatever he wants. But it has really tied the hands of DeBoer, and especially because he's not from here. He's from South Dakota. He's coached all up there and on the West Coast, and that was my whole point of getting somebody from the South, specifically Dan Lanning, which I don't think they probably didn't have a chance at that. I don't know. It was a long shot. But Glenn Schumann.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like Glenn Schumann would have been a lot better, because he could have kept these guys in. Because he's from here. He was under Saban. He understands all of that. Everything. He understands the Alabama culture. And I feel like he could have kept that intact. That's why I didn't think it'd be at this rate. I never thought Caleb Downs would leave. But at the same time, it makes sense because, it's all these new guys. And especially T-Rob left. Saban's gone. the OC's gone. I mean, everybody's gone. It's a whole new system, and you didn't sign up for this system. You signed up for.
Although, so my counter to that would be is I think they're gonna recruit very well in the next few years once the DeBoer and his Grubbs is coming with him. And the Grubbs offensive system, I think, is going to make a lot of 5-star quarterback. Well, we don't really got to worry about quarterback because we got Milrow and then Julian Sane is coming here. I think in the fall, I think he'll be here as a true freshman. I think once they have their offensive system set up, I think it's going to be very attractive for specifically high-end wide receivers and basically high-end skill position players to want to come to Alabama, because there's two things that are very true about Kalen DeBoer is that he's won everywhere he's went, and he's elevated every quarterback that has played for him. Like, people don't talk about how incredible it was that he made Michael Penix a Heisman finalist for a guy whose first start was back in 2018 at Indiana, and he had 4 season-ending injuries, and all of a sudden him and Grubbs were in the lab with those wide receivers, and they made Penix like arguably the best quarterback in college football. And now he has I think our wide receivers will be okay. Isaiah Bond's a good wide receiver, but he's not like, I don't know, he's not Devontae Smith or John Mechie, or not somebody that you can't replace his production with like Kobe Prentice.
Yeah.
So I think, and plus I also think that Jalen Milrow, as long as we have because he was the number 1 quarterback recruit in his class. So I think he's much toolsier, and I think he's got way more potential in the offense. It's just all about the implementation and who's going to be here. Which, I mean, to be fair, we can still probably, I mean, we still have 4 and 5-star guys littered on the roster, but I am interested to see what Washington guys are going to follow him here. I am pretty curious about that.
That's what I was about to say. I could see y'all getting Jabbar Muhammad. That would be a huge pickup, especially for how much you've lost in the secondary. But
yeah,
another guy's name that was mentioned that I disagreed with was Will Rogers, and he sucks. Just kidding.
Yeah,
he stinks. I'm not gonna lie to you, but his what was it? It was his his eligibility. He only has 1 year left. He's not gonna come here and start over Jalen Milrow. It's not gonna happen. So he's gonna waste his last year just sitting on the bench, and then he's got to go to the NFL. No shot. He's not coming.
Nope.
No shot.
So I will say though, also as far as secondary goes, I know we do. I forget his name. I don't know why. I should remember, but it was a while ago. We did get a 5-star transfer from corner from USC, who was one of their
Damani Jackson, I think.
Yeah. He was like he might have been their only good defensive player. So I don't know. I'm not tripping. I got to see what they do when they are actually able to get guys in the transfer portal in April and May. So, I mean, hey, we'll see. The season's a long ways away. So.
Yeah, there's still a whole nother signing day too coming. We just had early signing day, and then actual signing day is in like February, I think. So there's still a lot of time to fill out that roster.
Yep. But yeah, honestly though, also Washington fans are absolute losers, and I wish nothing but the worst for them. DeBoer gave them their best season since like they won a natty in '92. Acting like their brand is like USC in the Pac-12 because they won this year. Like, get over yourself. Like I've seen literal death threats to Kalen DeBoer from Washington fans. Like, it's absurd. Like, let it go. You guys are gonna be like 5-7 because you have nobody left. No one wants to go there. Like, Yeah, please.
They may get a few guys from Arizona, but I agree. And then I think Arizona got, because that's the domino effect. You know,
Yeah.
DeBoer goes to Alabama, Jed Fish goes to Washington, and then the San Jose State head coach goes to Arizona. But Arizona was able to keep their two best players, so I think they'll be okay. I know they lost 9 in 30 minutes, but I think the quarterback and wide receiver they kept, I think they'll be all right.
They'll be all right. It's just unfortunate for Arizona because they had a real shot at winning the Big 12 their first year.
Yep. Because their comp was Kansas, Oklahoma State, and maybe, I don't know how much production Utah's returning.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's a real gonna be a real stinker in the Big 12 this year.
I'm not gonna lie to you, the Big 12 may not be a Power 5 conference in a couple of years. I'm not gonna lie to you.
They may not. Them, and honestly, I hate to say this because one of my good friends is like one of the only Cal fans on the planet, and Cal literally just went to the ACC. I don't think the ACC is going to be around much longer. Once Florida State gets their wish to go to either the Big Ten or the SEC, they're going to be in some trouble. Mm-hmm. However, though, shout out to the Cal Golden Bears. I think they were ranked 5th as far as the transfer portal. So yeah, program on the rise. There we go.
Love to see it.
Yep, love to see it.
Yeah. You gonna say something, Shane?
Well, no, I was trying to think of anything else to talk about. We've been going for. I was about to say we've been going for 2 hours 15 minutes.
Wow.
I know it didn't even feel like it.
Not at all. Hey, time flies by when you're having fun.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, y'all about ready to close this thing up?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah. Also, I see. I think you already saw it, but Auburn got that Alabama DB.
Yeah, they got Kite.
Yep. I was happy with that.
You take it.
Sorry. Yeah, you take it.
Oh yeah, my mom just texted me. Yeah, I think it's time to wrap it up. All right. So thank you. Shout out to Kevin for being here for a lot of the time. Much love to you, and to anybody else still here. Please like and subscribe. We would appreciate it. You know, it keeps us coming back. You know what I mean? Keeps it in the heart.
Yeah,
for real. We do it for our people. But I'm Chan. That's Mac and Icy, and we'll see you on episode 10.
Absolutely. Big 1-0.
Peace.